Hello and good day, good day. We're in the high mountains of northern Greece. We have left Athens and the Acropolis and the Parthenon behind. Took an hour flight this morning up to Ioannina. I think that's pretty close to how it's said. Rented a car, about a 2-hour drive. Took us into Kalabaka, and then just a few kilometers more, we're up here among the towering rocks of Meteora. And we're going to go visit the monastery. It's only open until 4 o'clock this afternoon, so we only have about an hour and a half, but it's only like a 10-minute walk down. Cousin Tom has a pretty good head start on me, as I had to switch something on my camera setting. And you get this little pathway right here, I think, that kind of will take us down and around and around and around a few times. Then we'll end up into the rocks. A pleasant day today. We're probably at about 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's call it 17 or so Celsius. And we got this kind of paved pathway with little rocks in the middle of it going down, so we got pretty good traction. And man, what a difference of landscape and features from the coast down near Athens and the old historical sites. Now we're up into trees and the mountains and the crisp air. Not too busy here in late winter. All right, more to come from the monastery here in Meteora, northern Greece. It's looking back down towards the valley, I assume towards Kalabaka, and we get to start the climb up the hill. I don't know if you can see the water coming down off the side of the rock here. Getting a little bit of a splash from that. So we're going to climb the steps, enter that door, and then I think we got a little bit more hiking and climbing to go as we head up towards the monastery here. As I said, not a lot of people here, but everybody keeps their voices kind of quiet out of respect for the monastery environment. All right, here we go, upward. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a spiral, and then some twists and turns. To the top. Oh, we made it to the top of the monastery. A little bit of a problem though. It is €3 entry fee to go in, and I knew there was an entry fee to go in, but when I locked up the car, I threw my wallet under the seat and didn't bring any money. My cousin's already in, and he's exploring, and they close in about 20 minutes, so we may not get to see the monastery today. Oh, well. Tom came out about 15 minutes before it closes. Loaned me €3, so we are inside. He sounded like he was pretty impressed, so that's a good thing. He's not easily impressed. Okay, we'll continue on. Well, the monastery itself is not overly large. There is one room in there with like really beautiful frescoes, kind of like the small little sanctuary. And of course, like most places in Europe, in the churches and cathedrals and things such as that, you're not permitted to take photos or film. But if you look online, I'm sure you probably can find some photos of it somewhere. But you come out the back door and you get an opportunity to kind of climb these little rocks. And I haven't been up on this side yet. Back to the left of me, looking back towards those gigantic mountains. I wonder how high these mountains are. They look absolutely monstrous in size. See the sun kind of streaming through the clouds. That back down there is the town of Kalabaka. But then you come over this direction, you got a little rock wall that overlooks the valley, and there are several other points of interest off in the distance. I'm not 100% certain of what exactly the names of those are that we're looking at, but I think it's all part of the points of interest up here on the hillside behind Kalabaka. Hillside, I say that. This is a pretty nice sized elevation here, but up here in Meteora. These big rock stone walls that just shoot right out of the ground, just straight up in the air. It is €3 to come in here. And thanks to Tom, we need to make a name for his YouTube channel. Traveling Tom, Tom Travels. But he came out and loaned me the €3 to get in so we could take a look. All right, part one here in northern Greece. Well, just down below the hill from the monastery, we're in the town of Kalabaka. And that's the impressive view that you get looking up from one of these central squares here. A few restaurants and shops lining that square, and then across the way you got some coffee and restaurants, things such as that. I thought we'd take a little walk through the city here. You see these gigantic, what I assume are granite or limestone towers that rise from the valley floor here in Kalabaka. There's another town just to the north of here, which was I have to look it up, I don't remember, but there's like two towns that are right next to each other, and I think you can walk them even. They're only about a 5-minute drive apart. My gyros, chicken, lamb, and pork, they got the grill rolling out here this morning. Looks like a little business area of town. A very different scene from Athens, as we're up here in the mountains, a little bit more rural. I think this area has about 10 to 12,000 residents maybe. But it's bustling here this morning in the middle of the week. So I think our plan today is maybe drive back up into the rock formations and explore a little bit. There are many other places, I think there's like 3 or 4 different places in addition to where we visited yesterday that you can go and explore. Let's walk up this way and get a little view of the rocks. Get off the main drag a little bit. But some of them are closed, and right now we're not in high tourist season. So I think we may try to pick one and go visit, or we may just do a little car hiking today and go around and get some pictures and photos. And I guess pictures are photos, but maybe just kind of explore from the road. I'm not certain how close you can get, or I don't really know what the plan will be. So, but I think we're going to head back up into the rock formations that sit high above. You might be able to see the monastery there in the corner, and we'll come back from Kalabaka and northern Greece. All right, our car hike has begun. Just about a quarter of the way up towards Meteora. We got a couple of different things that we're looking at, and I'm not 100% positive what they are. When I learn, I'll put them on the screen below. So that sits upon top of a rock precipice there, and you see, might be able to see some folks that are walking up. Looks like a little switchback staircase. Come down to the left of that, down the rock facade. There in the center, there is a Greek flag flying on top of that rock formation there in the center, and I'm not sure exactly what all is there. And then a little bit further down is another building, and right behind that is yet another one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 within eyesight of where we're at. And we just stopped below the nunnery, which is built into this cliffside. So there's quite a bit more up here than I even expected. I thought there was just a couple, and then we got 5 of them right here on this first pull out, and we're only 5 minutes into the drive. So I'll be hopeful that it will show up on the larger screen. Again, can't zoom in with the GoPro. All right, we'll continue to drive around, heading up into Meteora. Another drive that's taking us higher, and found a real great parking spot to be able to see 2 of these kind of up close. This is the monastery of Varlam that we're looking at here, built in the 1300s, high atop a rock. Has a museum and also a chapel inside, and it looks like you can park down there. Maybe a ticket window, probably 4 or 5 euro, and there's a small bridge that you cross, and then I guess there's some steps on the other side, I think, where we saw people from down below that are kind of hiking up into it to kind of explore Varlam. On this side is a holy monastery of the great Mediterranean, Transfiguration of the Savior. Put that on a postcard. This one is actually closed. It's not open until the weekend, and that one sits up a little bit higher, and there's also a chapel in there. Pulling up to it, it almost looks like a hotel, and then you get to reading a little bit about it. But it's also constructed in the 1300s, and it's a little bit higher up than the one right behind me. And you can look back into the valley, get an idea of just how high we are. We're about as high in this little valley as you can get. Back in the distance, there is some snow capping the mountains that are even higher up than where we are. There's Varlam again. A little bit cooler up here, standing on this big rock. You can see where I'm at. A couple of rocks here that you can climb to get a view over the valley and over the different chapels that are up here. All right, I'm going to proceed down the hill and continue along the loop road that goes through Meteora. wrap up our time here in Meteora at the Holy Monastery of Saint Stephan. This dates back to the 1500s. Inside the sanctuary is just absolutely beautiful, stunning frescoes that have been redone. Of course, you're not allowed to film inside. Here's the guy, Tommy Travels, and his new YouTube channel. And what may offer the best view back into the city below us, off the railing here. So that's where we're staying, down in the middle of all that red roofed buildings. I think we're going to head back into the city, find a little dinner, and wrap up our time here in the mountains in Greece.